Okay, a little different here. Usually, Kyle's starting it off on his channel. We're gonna try out Kyle and Corin on my channel this week. Maybe going forward, we'll see how it rocks out.
Hell
Um,
yeah, man.
so it's like, first, I just want to say, you posted our last week's Kyle and Corin, and the amount of love from people, whether it was through Patreon, whether it was just subscribers, whether it was comments, whether it was just like X or tweets or whatever, was like unreal. It was something that you never expect. You never kind of like you hope for it, but you can't like kind of anticipate it or whatever. You just don't know. Um, but the amount of love and just kind of support, and like I said, Patreon people that came over to Corn's World and gave a couple bucks and showed love was just unreal. And I'm so appreciative. I'm appreciative, to Kyle and the people that came over, man, because I was helping out at this food service gig that I do, and Kyle texted me and was like, I just, it's live, Kyle and Corn. Maybe some subs are coming over, and then I checked my phone and it was like, it was OD. So it was wild. Was there ever a moment for you while you were like kind of growing your channel that you saw your biggest jump, or you kind of noticed a large amount of comments? Like, was ever like, did it ever hit you moment, or were you just growing all the time?
So there were big moments. I would say the big moments were 100,000
Yep.
YouTube subscribers. That feels bigger than a million, in my opinion. Like 100,000 is the one where you look in the mirror and you go, "Damn, there's 100,000 people that listen to me," which means if I stay consistent, I could actually just do this as a job. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And so 100,000 was one. The other big moment was when Adpocalypse happened
Yep.
and YouTube basically cut off all the money for political YouTube like overnight because of some scandal where like a Hershey's ad went on a Nazi channel or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
Well, I
and
don't remember
so I
the Hershey's thing, but I remember YouTube Apocalypse.
so what happened was we went from making a good amount of money with just the default ads on YouTube overnight to like literally nothing.
Yeah.
And so everybody who did what I do was panicking. And so I basically just went to my audience the next day, set up a Patreon, went to my audience the next day, and I was like, look, y'all, here's the deal. We were fine before, could pay the bills good before, but now YouTube cut off the money, and at the time, we didn't know if they would ever fucking bring it back, right?
Yeah.
We're literally just like, our shit just might have gotten nuked. Like, they might be done with politics completely on YouTube. And so I was like, look, just hook a brother up with $2 a month on Patreon or $5 a month or whatever, anything you could do to help, because now there's no income anymore from this. And that everybody blessed us that day. And from that day on, it was like, those were the two big ones, I would say. That when the audience saved the show and when we hit 100,000 subscribers.
So now, I mean, it's obviously impossible to write to everyone and kind of like show love, but like, do you ever feel obligated to like, I mean, like you always like, love you guys and kind of show love to your audience, and you've done, some live shows and stuff like that. But like, I feel like at my point, I feel obligated to either like write back to everybody or, like comment back. Obviously you can't do that. What's your form of like appreciation? Cause one thing I respect about you too is like, and I saw this on Patreon, is like people will put stuff behind a paywall, or, obviously you got to pay a little bit more to see some like exclusive footage. TYT does that. You never did that. And that was one thing that like when I started the Patreon channel, it's kind of like, I like that approach. I kind of feel like it's a little, I was looking at some other pages, and to me, I don't know, unless I really like someone, it kind of feels a little weird to be like, I'm going to pay an extra little bit more to see some private content that Bob can't see. So like, was that something you thought about when you started the page too? Is like, I'm not going to make someone pay extra to like see some exclusive stuff.
Yeah, I just viewed it as like, if you support the show, you're like tipping $2 a month or $5 a
Yeah.
month. And like, I committed to just continuing to provide like the show in a very like doctrinaire, professional, I'm doing a job kind of way. Like I treat it like a job.
Yeah.
Where most YouTubers, a lot of YouTubers they'll put out one video a week or one video a month, and some of them get huge doing that depending on what they're doing, like what their topic is. But for news and politics, it's not really like that. It's very rare. There are some like video essayists who are political, who like do really well. Like FD Signifier comes to mind, and he does like really good deep dive videos that are like an hour or two long.
Damn.
But for what I do, no, I viewed it as like I'm gonna do my show. I'm gonna stick to it, and if you guys can tip, that would be awesome. And to your point, it's good that if you're responding to everybody, like that's a good thing for the size you are right now.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense, right? At the size you are right now, and I remember when I was your size too, it was the same thing. It was like, everything was such a close-knit community that you could respond to people, you could engage a lot. As you get bigger, and I've seen this happen with a lot of YouTubers that are big, like at some point, a lot of these people like lose their minds just by being too plugged in and too online and looking at too much criticism. I've seen that happen so much, and it's a cautionary tale, really, that the only way to like keep your mental health and your sanity is to like sort of unplug once you hit a certain size and just like stick to it, do it like a job, and don't get lost in the noise. Because a lot of people, you might overreact to one criticism and underreact to somebody else's criticism and take something personally and lash out. You'll see this all the time where it's like a political YouTuber, but they start sounding like vindictive and petty and angry when talking about like some comment somebody made online, and it's like, why are you so upset? Like, this is just a random person, bro. Like this is not a big deal. Like, just don't even look at it.
Yep. It's also crazy to see, and I've gotten some comments too of like people who like want to start their own YouTube channel as well, and like they've written that to me, and then, like my advice is like what you always told me is like just do it. Like people are saying they've got content stored up and banked and like ready to go. So that's like a lot of the advice that I've written back to people that have said that to me is like just do it,
bro,
post it. Like who cares?
Let me say, this is a big deal in my opinion. There are talkers and there are doers.
Yeah.
And one of the things I hate is when, like, let's say a YouTuber was gone for like 6 months and then they come back and they start telling people, they do a video and they're like, there's going to be a lot of changes. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. This is the plan. We're going to do that. We're going to do this. I hate that shit.
I feel like I did that for a hot minute.
No, there's like,
no,
I don't want to throw anybody under the bus, but there was like a golf YouTuber I watch who did that. And that really annoyed me because, first of all, you were just gone for like 6 months.
Yeah.
So when you do that, even the idea that you expect, like, oh yeah, people will just be like waiting for, like, no, they're not. They moved on and they've added something else to their media diet, and they're going to stick to that shit.
Yep.
And like, there are talkers and there are doers. If you want to do everything you just listed for me, do that shit. Don't say, oh, no, do that shit. And don't give me a prelude. Don't say a whole, thing before it. Just do it.
Yep.
And like, that's the thing is because it's always people go through this like honeymoon phase where the idea of the shit is appealing to them. But then once they're in the muck and on the grind and doing it, you're going to wake up some days and be like, I don't really feel like doing this right now. And you got to push through that shit.
Yeah.
And the doers will just keep doing. And so that's also my advice to people is you just got to do it. Don't talk about it. Nobody cares about you talking about it, about your plans, about your dreams. Either do it or don't. And if you do it, then keep doing it.
Yep. I'm not going to front. There's times where like I'm feeling good. Like I'll be at the gym and then I go in the shower and I'll like just be like underneath the warm water. And I'm like, when I get back to the crib, I'm going to record a video. It's going to be butter. And then I'm like, I get back home and I'm like, fuck that shit, man. Like, there's just moments where it's like it all in your mind, everything sounds like good and you piece it all together and you're like, this is going to be bomb. And then you just don't do it. But to your point, like you got to just sit down and actually do it.
Yeah, there are times when I'm like prepping for the show the next day and I really like hit a flow and I'm thinking in my head like, oh, on this story I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to say this, I'm going to say that, I'm going to say this, and it's just like all in my mind super clear. And then the next day I do this segment and I don't deliver it anywhere near like I wanted to, right? Because the inspiration was just in that moment, just that one moment, and then it went away.
Yep.
And so like the point is you have to lock in, set a schedule, and just do the shit. And sometimes it'll feel great, sometimes it won't. But you just got to do it. It's just that simple. Like, just do it. Don't fucking talk about it. Just do it.
So I'm going to get into it in a second because last week, one of my highest rated videos was your this or that. So people, I think, really love to see kind of a different side of you that I've known since practically middle school. Like, you're obviously fun. You're obviously very educated. People like to see kind of the fun side of you, and I think last week with this or that, it showed a little bit of that. I think that's why people resonate with Kyle Corin a little bit because they see a little bit different side of like just the standard political take that they know they're going to get from you. It's kind of like a little curveball to see some other takes you have, whether it's food, whether it's candy or cats and dogs, stuff like that. So I have some stuff written down, but even just before I get to that, you had mentioned your golf channels. Is this kind of like the Super Bowl of golf content right now, obviously with the Masters coming up. Do like our channels going crazy? Do they have predictions? And obviously, I want to kind of get your prediction and thoughts on just this weekend with the Masters because people, I think, and these are my daughters gave me these stickers. I watch golf, obviously. I watch the majors. I'm a huge Tiger fan. I think golf is elevated when Tiger's playing in the tournament. I don't get as jazzed up when he's not in it. Just real quick, what are you watching Golf Channel wise? What are your predictions for the Masters? Obviously, you're excited for this weekend. What do you think is going to happen?
So, the Masters, to your point, the Masters, me and a couple of my friends call it the Holy Week.
Yep.
It's the Holy Week. We don't look like, I don't give a fuck about Christmas. I don't give a fuck about Easter. I don't give a fuck about the 4th of July.
It's all true.
I don't care about any of it. Like, it exists. I go through the day, yada, yada.
Even your birthday, I feel like you're like, I'll just go get some hibachi with the family or something like that.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about my birthday? Like, who cares? Honestly, like, whatever. But the Masters is legitimately the Holy Week. For golfers, the Master is everything. First of all, the thing I respect the shit out of them. They have a horrible, like, racial history and shit there, which is terrible. Like, really bad racial history, because it's in the Deep South, and it's at Augusta, and so all that stuff is bad. But the thing that makes it in the modern day, that makes it, like, the event in golf, the biggest one to Americans, is that, dog, they do everything perfectly. Like, I've never actually been to Augusta, but there's not a blade of grass out of place, dog. Like, Brian went, and he was like, I swear to God, it's like carpet. Like, the whole place is like carpet. They put so much thought into everything. The conditions are always perfect. They upgrade stuff every year. Like, the range now is like the most state-of-the-art range. They built out this $40 million like media megaplex where the media does their work from. Every year, it's just perfect shit.
Yep.
And in terms of their broadcast, like, the Masters is the only tournament where they'll play some shit on TV, right? But then also you can go to masters.com and watch live groups, watch any shot anybody's hit, go to like, oh, I want to see hole 11 and 12. Let me go watch the Amen corner holes.
Oh, you could watch you could just watch hole 7 for the whole weekend if you want?
Anything you want to do. And you could pick a couple players and say, I want to see all of their shots. And they'll make for you, like, here's all their shots in real time.
Oh, wow.
Like, they do everything so right. So anyway, during Masters week, I got, and Crystal knows this too, I got the TV on, plus I got my laptop, and I'm streaming at least like 2 of the different streams that they're doing, right? Whether it's featured groups or certain holes. And so I will sit there and my eyes will not leave the TV, bro. From Thursday, as soon as I can watch, which will probably be right after I record some shit. But from Thursday all the way to Sunday, it's not happening. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. Don't say shit. And Crystal knows this is like the one thing in the year where I mean it.
It's just like, let me rock.
Pretty much any other day, no matter what else is going on, oh, we got to do this, this, and this. No problem. Let's go do it. For this shit, don't even bother. Now to answer your question about who is going to win this week, I think Rory's eventually going to get it done, right? I think he's probably going to win the Masters. He's playing great coming into here. I think
he's won a Masters before, right? Or no?
No, that's the only one he hasn't won.
Oh,
he's won
wow.
a U.S. Open, PGA Championship, British Open. He's got a bunch of majors, but he does not have a Masters. If he wins the Masters, he completes the career Grand Slam, which puts him in a rare group.
Yep.
So I think I like either Rory or I like Scotty Scheffler. So, and those are big names, you know, in the betting markets, they'll be like massive favorites, but I do think one of them is probably going to pull it off.
And Scheffler won last year, or Dustin Johnson? Who won last?
Scheffler won last year.
Yeah. I saw actually a while ago, to your point of like everything is like very pristine and just perfect. I guess the winner from last year gets to choose like a meal, and like they put out like
champions dinner, yeah,
like all the people who had won previously, and his menu looked pretty bomb. He had like some short ribs on there because I think I remember.
Texas.
Yeah, it was like a Texas, like home cooked. I remember I looked in the past and it was like some salmon shit, but like his menu was on point. It was one that I was like, damn, I would crush all of that shit. And I think even like his dessert was like some brownie with like a scoop of ice cream on top. I was like, damn, he kind of freaked that menu.
Some good ass Texas food, man.
Yeah.
Nah, he knows exactly what he's doing. It sucks that Tiger's not there.
Yeah.
Like it always sucks. I know you said, oh, like I like it when Tiger's on, then I'll watch. That's how everybody feels. Even diehard golf fans like me, we yearn for Tiger.
Yep.
So it sucks that he's not there, but it'll still be good without him. And the other thing is, since you know the PJ Tour and Live Golf, they're separate now. It's only the majors where all the players come together.
Yep.
So now you're going to get you're going to see Bryson DeChambeau out there. You're going to see Brooks Koepka. Those are Live guys. And you're going to see Phil Mickelson, but you'll also see Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, the PGA Tour guys. So if anything, it even heightened how special the majors are by having, the tours split up.
I kind of appreciate too how they like take your phone. Like you can't have your phone if you go there on site. So like you never see like leaked footage or like just weariness happening on the holes. Like the only pictures anytime someone goes to the Masters is like right before like you drive in and there's like a little islandy grassy spot where usually a person will take their picture, but you don't see a lot of like photos coming out from within the grounds, which is pretty cool because a lot of other events, someone goes to the Super Bowl, you're going to see TikTok content, you're going to see all this crazy stuff from on site. It's kind of rare and makes it kind of this like mysterious thing that like you have to go to because they take your phone, which I don't even know how they do that shit, which is kind of bizarre.
So Augusta, it's the only place where when I hear, oh, there's like a lot of rules there, it's the only place where I'm like, damn, I like those rules.
Yeah.
Like anywhere else, you say they got rules in this place or that place. I'm like, fuck you. Like, who the fuck are you? Shut the fuck up. But then you go to Augusta and you look at the Masters and you're like, damn, you guys have a lot of rules, but I sort of love all of them. Like, I don't care that you're like authoritarian as fuck because you made everything here perfect.
And it's like the food is like $1.50. Like that's one rule. Like they won't raise the prices.
Yep,
like
just like the Costco guys are like, we're not raising the price of the hot dog.
Yeah.
They do the same shit with their food.
I feel like that approach is like almost a way to go now. Like the Costco guys do that, and legit, it's become like a thing. And like the food's not even that bad. Like to buy a hot dog, a slice and a soda at Costco is, I think like $1.50 or some shit like that. Like maybe $2, and you get like a diesel cheese slice and a soda cup for super cheap. The hot dog is like a big hot dog.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The only thing that is kind of pricey is like their chocolate chip cookie, which was like $4. And I was like, that's one shit that should be like $1. You kind of OD on this big ass cookie. So
yeah, it's what they call it a lost leader. Like they lose money on that, but they make it up in people for memberships, paying for memberships.
Exactly. And then I just saw, I think it was Coastal Carolina's football team is going to have free concessions their whole football season. Like nachos, popcorn, soda. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't even know how. There's no money involved with that, so I don't know how they're thinking they're gonna like make money back on that.
They probably just got a grant from some rich person, or it's a government endowment or something. Like they just found a way. They were like, let's just do something good with this money.
Yeah.
Which, like, to your point, like we need more of that in this country. Like, yeah, we got this massive donation from this rich asshole. Food is free.
Yeah.
Instead of like, we're just going to fucking shove this shit in the bank account and charge you more, Yeah, we need more of that shit. Like that's good. Like that's the shit that creates a society where people, where you create like social cohesion and people like each other and people are having fun. Like you can't just rip everybody off 24/7 and expect everybody to fucking love it here.
Yep. I mean the Arizona iced tea, shout out them. They've been 99 cents like forever.
Are they still 99 cents?
Still 99 cents. And that's why like some spots will try to charge more. And I'm like, it literally says 99 cents on the can. Like that's not some shit that you can charge more for. Like get the fuck out of here.
Respect, man. Like McDonald's with the old dollar menu. Like
yeah, but they sold out. They sold out.
You got to bring it back. You got to bring it back.
They have to bring back the dollar menu. They do like Wendy's. Shout out to them. They do the biggie bag. I don't know if you've ever gotten it, but it's like $5. It's burger, nuggets, fries, and a soda for $5.
Okay.
So that one,
Wendy's.
Yeah, I got down. Like they have a $6 bag, which is like the chicken sandwich, and then like $7 is like a double burger or something like that. So like they're with the times, but they're like, you got to package everything together. But nothing's like that old school McDonald's dollar menu of like just straight like you want a
No.
burger, you want
Yep.
fries, like a apple pie was on there. Like their dollar menu was on point.
The price of everything's about to go up like
I know.
crazy.
I was at the gym today, so I don't do stocks. I don't do anything. But like it's funny because I don't want to like stereotype and be like these guys voted for Trump, but they definitely voted for Trump. And they were like, they were looking at their phones and talking about the stock part. Like, I guess the stock market had just opened like 5 minutes in, and it was like 14% down or something like that. Like,
It just collapsed.
it's really bad right now, right? Like, even people who voted for Trump are like, we don't fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. And it's all because of the tariffs. It's all self-inflicted. He did this shit by himself, all by himself.
So
It's the first time I've ever seen something like that where one guy just caused all of it.
And so is there any coming back from it? Like what? So like, are the tariffs in effect? Like actually, so stuff getting shipped in is just way more expensive to ship in. So like eventually we're just going to stop getting as many goods and the stuff we have here is just going to be more expensive.
So we don't know, like there's so many unanswered questions, which is partly leading to the crash because we don't even have the personnel in the government to like effectively charge all the tariffs. So like he did these tariffs and he did it just himself, which is questionable legally anyway. And like we don't even have the people that are needed to like charge the tariffs. But also he's like doubling down and tripling down and quadrupling down and he's saying stuff like there's no exemptions. There's no exemptions. And if they were to stay in place, yeah, it's a fucking nightmare because basically what a tariff is it's a tax on consumers. So everything people buy in the store, it goes up 20%, 25%. And like people can't afford that, especially like right now the big problems we have are people can't afford healthcare, they can't afford education,
groceries,
and they can't afford a house. And they can't afford a house. Those are the most expensive things. There's so much inflation in the housing market and with the higher education and with healthcare. So, but the thing that like held this country together is that we've had really cheap consumer goods for a really long time, where people could just go to Walmart and buy a whole bunch of cheap shit made in China, and like so even though you're struggling to pay the bills, pay the mortgage, pay the rent or whatever, it's like I can still go to Walmart and spend $150 and get like everything I need. Right? But now he's taken that away with the tariffs, and so. What are people going to do? They say it's going to cost the average family $5,000 extra per year.
That's wild.
So mix that with the fact that the housing prices are still going up, healthcare prices are still going up, higher education is still going up. Like there's no relief for people. And so the market is reacting to that and everything's falling off a cliff. And people's 401ks are being wiped the fuck out. You know, it's going to lead to layoffs. There's going to be more layoffs now as a result of it.
Yeah.
So if it stays in place, like it's really bad. It's so crazy because he pretends like it's going to bring back manufacturing jobs by doing this. The only way it would bring back manufacturing jobs if they spent a shitload of government money building factories in the country for specific industries.
And they're definitely not doing that.
Not only is he not doing that, he took away the funding when Biden did that. Biden spent a bunch of money on the CHIPS Act to make microchips here in the U.S. It's made in Taiwan mostly now. He wanted to build the factories here and build them here. And they passed a law called the CHIPS Act that does exactly that. It would have created 115,000 high-paying manufacturing jobs. And Trump killed it. And they got all these factories now. They're saying, we're not. There were companies that were going to build factories here. And now because of the tariffs, they're like, we are not even going to build that factory here anymore because now it's too fucking expensive because all the shit we need to build our building, like the steel, whatever, all the things that go into making a building, now that's too expensive for us, and the factory will cost $150 million. We're not doing it. So, like, everything, he's just ruining everything. It really is that simple. He's ruining everything. Yeah,
that's, even, like, Dollar General and the 99-cent stores, like, you go in there and their shit's, like, up to $2, $2.50. It's like, the name of your store is 99-cent store. Like, you can't charge more than 99 cents.
I know. Yeah, that blew one of our kids' minds. Like, wait a second, not everything's $1 in there. This is a lie.
Dude, me too. I'm like, all right, this shit should be $1, and it's like $3. I'm like, no, you can't do that. You got to change the name of your store completely. That gets me. Well, did you tweet something out? Who was that guy like sewing? Was that an AI video that you tweeted? It was like a big.
Oh yeah. Because that's like Trump saying, "Oh, we're gonna bring these jobs back here," and it was like somebody made an AI video of like Americans working in like a Bangladeshi style sweatshop factory, making like shoes or whatever the fuck or clothes, and it was like, "Yeah, is this the American dream to you? Okay, I guess this is the American dream to you." So I posted that video.
One thing that is kind of fascinating to me, just with Trump, is like he had the Dodgers at the White House today, and like how he can separate himself as a human being from like what's happening in the economy, everybody, like all this noise happening with like, I hate to say this, but like he came off as pretty like personable when he was talking about like Otani and the Dodgers and stuff like that. Like he was reading off his stats and was like, he seemed like on it. He was like, oh, he went 6 for 6. Like this guy's like a movie star. Like I kind of was like, damn, like he does kind of have this like charismatic charm, but meanwhile the whole country's burning and he's got like the Dodgers on stage and everyone's laughing and joking and he's all like nothing's going on. It's like, it's just fascinating to me.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. And that like charming quality is something I think every American president has to one extent or another.
Yeah.
But he genuinely doesn't care. Like he's a sociopath. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
If people are struggling, if everybody's telling him don't do this, he's like, shut the fuck up. I'll do what I want. It's very weird because I wouldn't, if I was inflicting the harm he is, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
No.
I wouldn't be able to sleep. And in fact, I don't even know how his paid liars go out there and lie for him. Like all the people in his cabinet who are now going on the news shows and they're like, this is actually good. Like, how can you say that with a straight face? And it's very clear there's no marching orders from the top about, hey, here are the specific talking points we use. Because they have one talking point is different from the next from these people. One of them are acting like, oh, this is a negotiating tactic, the tariffs, and he'll get a great deal for America. And then the other one is like, no, there's no exceptions to the tariffs, and it's going to be great in the long run. Short-term pain, long-term gain, that sort of shit. It's like, you guys don't even have your own fucking story straight.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Did you see that we were already vindicated? I think I sent you this. We were already vindicated. Remember, the last time we talked, you were like, we're not getting out of these 4 years without Trump putting a big-ass picture of his face somewhere and just, like, being, like, making everybody look at that shit. And then I was like, yeah, he's going to do, like, a military parade, which he wanted to do in the first term. And then literally within the same week that we talked about that, boom, he's doing a military parade. I read it could cost as much as $92 million.
That's insanity.
To do the military parade, and he's going to ruin the streets, too, because these vehicles are not made to be driven on, like, regular-ass streets. And it's like, this is shit a dictator does. Like, a military parade? We don't do that in this country. What the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just comical at this point, and it's almost just a playbook of, like, everything that has happened in the past that he deems powerful or successful or will garner a lot of attention. He's just like taking that and doing it. Like, this is my next prediction. This one's kind of wild, but like, I think he's going to give some type of speech at the Washington Monument on some like Martin Luther King Jr. and try to like have like his I Have a Dream speech. And that whole like middle thing will just going to be packed out of Trump supporters. And he's going to try and like, it's almost like he's just trying to recreate all of these moments because he can. and that's why when I like, I don't know much about politics, but I know there's this vision or like of a dictator, like in whatever, South Korea, where he just sits on like a throne.
North Korea,
sorry. Yeah. And his army just parades through, kicking their legs, doing whatever dance they got to do. And it's just like this sign of power of military and like he's in charge. And I was like, why? Trump's going to do that because he wants to show that he's in charge of the military. And it just so happened that he's doing that. But like, it's even more bizarre to me that it's like he's got this whole Doge shit. Then they're like cutting all this money. And then you're telling me that you're going to spend $92 million on some like parade that is just pointless, meaningless, and does nothing for us.
Yeah. And to your point, like people are noticing. I don't know if you saw, I don't know how much the media covered it, but there was a protest the other day with millions of people.
Was that across the country?
Across the country, dog.
But here's my thing.
It was in 50 states.
Do? What do those do?
So the whole point of this protest, it was called the Hands Off protest, and they all had signs that said shit like hands off Social Security, hands off Medicaid, hands off Medicare, hands off Greenland, hands off Canada, hands off our bodies, hands off the Constitution.
Yeah.
And like it was just a showing of there's a lot of energy here and sort of fuck you. And so it's a great thing, but the thing I'm concerned about, I think I talked to you about this, is that I fear he's going to at some point invoke the Insurrection Act and declare martial law and say like, hey, I already told you there was a war going on and we were invaded by immigrants, so now I'm shutting down the border using the military and all protests are illegal, right? And it's like moments like that where you're like, damn, the correct response is to have everybody out in the streets, and the correct response is to do a general strike where everybody stops working until this motherfucker steps the fuck down. You know,
See, that to me is like more powerful. Like, it's great people are protesting, amazing. Like news is covering all that shit, but like I just asked, like it's like ultimately, what does that do? There was like the women's
is to
march.
scare them.
I know
this is different than the women's march. This is literally the whole point of this is like we want to scare you to let you know, yeah, you have the power, you have the money, you have the White House. But motherfucker, we just got 1 million people in these streets, bro. And the other thing is some of them were wearing Free Luigi hats, or they were wearing Deny, Defend, Depose, or whatever the thing was.
Yeah, the same.
Like, these are regular-ass resistance liberal wine moms who are like, bitch, free Luigi. So something has broken now in the psyche of American liberals and leftists where they get it. And I think they realize, like, bro, nothing is going to change unless maybe some shit gets burnt down. Unless maybe they feel like, hey, dog, you can't keep doing this without throwing us a bone.
Yeah.
You want to be this psychopathic leader? Well, you better not fucking cut Social Security. In fact, you should fucking expand Social Security. Like, that's the whole point, is, like, to scare the people in power, to let them know, like, I know you think you're hot shit, but just know we just got 1 million people out here in these streets with preparing for maybe less than a month. And next time it'll be 2, and the time after that it'll be 3, and then the time after that it'll be 10, and then the time after that we are going to do a general strike and shut this whole fucking economy down, or you can't get shit done without our approval. And that's the thing, is like, this is what, like, the people actually have the power.
Yeah.
Because there's always power in numbers, but you have to stand in solidarity and you have to have a united voice. And now we're getting to the point where he's overreached so much that you're beginning to see a little bit of that united voice. And so it's got to continue. I kept saying, like, they should do one of these every week or every month, just as a flex, just as, like, we're fucking onto you. And the other thing is, here's a real tangible thing that it helps with. It scares the shit out of the other Republican politicians. Like, they had the Supreme Court race for Wisconsin where Elon went there and was trying hard to get the Republican to win. Drax, dog, he got blown out the water.
That's amazing.
The Democrat won by 10 points. Then you had these other special elections in Florida, which are like Trump plus 30 districts, Trump plus 35 shit. Well, guess what? They collapsed and they barely won. They lost like 20, 22 points compared to the last race, which again is a massive sign. Hey, all you Republican assholes who are just saying, Trump, you do whatever you want. Elon Musk, cut Social Security, do whatever you want. We'll defend you. It's a sign to them that if you want to hold on to your own power, your own seat in your election, you better start disagreeing with these motherfuckers from time to time or face our wrath. And so there are tangible, anytime you're like making noise for your issues and being aggressive and the energy is there for your issues, only positive shit comes from it. In fact, you could argue that's how Trumpism even became a thing.
Yeah.
It was all his fucking assholes on social media yelling at people, all of his fucking supporters in real life with their red hats on screaming at people. It was like there was a movement, there was energy, and the energy eventually translates into real political power. And the idea is to do that on the other side. And this is the first time in my life I've really seen a super energized left now, where all the people who in 2016 were like supporting Hillary over supporting Bernie, now those people are like, sort of fuck them, we're with Bernie and AOC, because at least they're fucking fighting and nobody else is fighting.
Yeah. I agree with you, I guess, to an extent. I saw this when I think it was maybe a month or so ago, they tried to do like a don't use Amazon or something like that. That to me is like more powerful when you like can actually get a whole large group of people to not spend money with Amazon or don't go to, Walmart today. Don't spend money with the big corporations. That can affect, like big corporations and seeing. But then again, it's like one day. So it's like if you don't spend money on Friday, then Saturday you come back and you buy all the shit that you were supposed to buy yesterday.
But
then
to your point though, look at the Tesla boycott, dog.
Yeah, Tesla is the one that like
This shit, I've never seen a boycott this successful in my life.
Yeah.
You're talking literally 90+% drop in Germany. All throughout Europe, they're like, fuck you. They're considering banning Teslas completely in Germany, not allowing any of them into the country.
Yeah.
Then you have in the U.S., there's a massive collapse. Then you also have dealerships getting burnt down, charging stations getting burnt down, like people's shit getting vandalized. Like the message is sent, like if you try to buy one of these cars, you are supporting this fucking Nazi.
Yeah.
And we're not going to stand for it.
I mean, the same thing happened to Kanye. Like he went crazy and like shoes stopped selling. People aren't buying his clothes anymore. Adidas dropped him.
Now he's becoming irrelevant.
Now he's becoming irrelevant. It's like the same thing. I mean, I don't know if it'll happen to Elon just because he's got so much money, but like eventually his company
his stock price dropped 50%. His stock price is down 50%, dog.
And his whole thing was like, wasn't all of his money tied up in his Tesla stocks or whatever? So like, if that actually drops, then he's going to lose actual money. So
his money's tied up in his businesses, but he also took $38 billion in government money.
Yeah,
right.
So,
like
he's not. Yeah,
he's subsidies. But no, he feels it. That's why they're panicking, and that's why he's out there like, oh, we're going to charge these people with terrorism. Like, he's saying this shit because this is his desperate way of being like, please fucking stop. Like, stop. Because who wants to buy a Tesla now? Nobody wants to buy a Tesla now. His fan base, to your point, his fan base used to be liberal people. Now all of them are either selling their Tesla or putting a bumper sticker on that says, I bought this before Elon was crazy. So it's having real-world effects, and it's just a matter of you got to hit the tipping point with it, right? Nobody, like, of course, everybody wants to see Elon go fucking bankrupt now.
Yeah.
He did it to himself. You can't cut pediatric cancer research without people being like, fuck you, I want you to go bankrupt. You can't cut Social Security without people saying, fuck you, I want you to go bankrupt. You're making my grandma lose her fucking monthly check. Who the fuck are you? And so it's time to pay the piper, and now people are fucking acting. It's because they really, I've never seen anybody overreach as quickly and as aggressively as these guys have overreached. And there has to be fucking payment for it. There has to be consequences, or else the message they'll take away if they get away with all this shit is any rich asshole who wants to hijack the government, do whatever they want, they'll be able to do it from now until the end of time. And so people are drawing a line, and they're like, fuck you, we're just not going to let you do it.
Yeah, that's where, I mean, like, I hope people get out and vote, and the tide switches back.
They will. If they don't steal it, if the Republicans can't steal it, you're going to see, I said this on my show the other day, you're going to see literally, like, we've never seen it before in modern history. Everybody thinks, like, yeah, elections are relatively evenly split. You know, like, it's always one person wins by a little bit or whatever. You know, if you crack 300 electoral college votes, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
But people don't know, it wasn't that long ago in U.S. history where we had some elections where 48 out of 50 states went to one of the candidates, where one candidate only won 2 states. So the idea that, like, oh, it'll always be relatively close. No, we just haven't lived through a presidency yet, which was either so amazingly good that everybody voted for the person, or like we're going through right now, where the presidency is so immensely bad that everybody's just going to vote against the Republicans.
Yeah.
But assuming they can't steal it, we are absolutely going to witness that. These midterms are going to be historic, bro.
Are those coming up
midterms
soon,
are going to be,
or is it still a way away?
No, it's still a little. It's 2026, so it's still
damn.
a little way away. But we've had some special elections which have given evidence of how pissed off people are. And the fact of the matter is, they show no signs of stopping. They show no signs of slowing down. They're just going to go 100 miles an hour from now until then. And in that scenario, man, these Republicans are going to get wiped the fuck out from coast to coast, and it's going to be a glorious thing.
And I mean, that's one where, like, once you start hitting the pockets of, you know, Republicans who invest in the stock market, who have a lot of money tied up in banks, and they start losing money and they start getting affected by this stuff, then you're going to see a big difference. Like, it was kind of surreal today to hear people in the locker room talking about the stocks, and, like, they sounded really fed up. And this is only the beginning, dog. Like, so once it really tanks, and there was other kids in the locker room, they were sitting next to me in the sauna, and they were like, it's funny hearing these people complain about 14% down, and then I look at his phone, and he's still got $150,000 in his account. Like, so like once they start losing real money, then you're going to see a big difference of like, hey, I need to vote somebody in, or we need to kind of cause a little bit more of an uproar of someone that kind of knows what they're doing, that these stock markets or like the prices of whatever stay afloat a little bit, because it's like all the screens I'm seeing, and John Oliver did something where Fox News was reporting on a story, and they're like, this is the most important story you're going to hear today. And literally he like panned to the corner of the screen, and every stock price was like red and had an arrow pointing down. And he was like, and the story they were talking about was like some cat got loose or some bullshit. And they're like, that's the most important story? Like, how about you just look in the corner of your screen, and like every screen you look at is bright red. Like you post the meme of the JD Vance, and like, or like there's always the red and the down. If anybody's doing good right now, I don't know what they're selling, but it must be some illegal ass shit, because like everything is down.
Fox News removed the ticker from their screen.
Oh, that's I didn't even know that.
They removed it, and also they started recycling these old stories of like a trans girl tried to play in a frisbee tournament.
That's another,
and it's like, who are you guys kidding, bro? They really live in their own universe. They really fucking do. But it's gonna catch up. It's already catching up to them. It's gonna catch up to them. They're so exposed as just total fucking charlatans. All the shit that these people were saying when there was inflation under Biden, they were, oh my God, Bidenflation. Oh my God, the price of eggs. Oh my God, you can't afford anything. Oh, what a horrible president. Look at the stock market. Look at it. And then now, there's literally some MAGA commentators who are like, bro, what even really is money? Does money even matter at the end of the day?
The like way they, what is it when you move the field goal post or something like that?
Yeah, goalpost moving. Yeah.
One thing that has been good, and shout out to whoever's in charge of this, like, okay, the gas prices has still been okay. So like gas is one that like there were times where gas got up to like $5 or something crazy. And I'm still on the border of New Jersey, and New Jersey used to have really cheap gas because of whatever or something.
No gas tax. Yeah. No gas tax.
But I think they like removed something where it was like kind of still normal. But gas is sitting at like 289, 287.
Well, when gas goes down, it's an indicator of a recession, and gas is plummeting.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah.
I
feel like if gas doesn't go up when we're in a recession.
So gas going down initially is an indicator of a recession.
Oh, so it's kind of like when a tidal wave's about to come, like the waves go all the way back, and you're like, oh wow, a lot more beach. And then all of a sudden it's like, fuck you.
Yeah. No, it earlier today it was plummeting. Just like the value of the dollar. That's the scary one, is if you think about the world now is going to have serious conversations behind our back of like, we need to get off the dollar. The Americans are too crazy. They're too chaotic. The dollar is the world reserve currency. We all trade using the dollar. But obviously they can't lead anymore. Look at them. They're crazy. They're threatening their allies. They're starting a trade war. They're like planning 7 different wars. Like, we can't do it. And so in that scenario, the day that the dollar is off as the world reserve currency, the day that the world is like, we're abandoning the dollar, bro, this country is so cooked. We're so cooked.
I'm going to try and find every gold. I think I have a little small gold ring from when I was in like 8th grade that has CC on it. It's probably fake as fuck, but I'm going to try and pawn that shit.
I mean, there's gonna come a time where, you know, people are just gonna be fucking scavenging, struggling. Like,
do we go back to paying with like coins and gold coins and silver coins, and you gotta like go to a bar and drop a bag of coins on the counter?
We'll still have the dollar, but the shit'll be like worth, like, you're gonna have to spend like $80 to buy a loaf of bread type shit. You know, like that's what'll happen if they get off the world reserve currency, and he's doing everything he can to make that happen. He's doing everything he can to bring that about.
Yeah, it's wild.
And he thinks like we are the indispensable nation. There's no way anybody can avoid ignoring us or working around us. They can't do it. We're too powerful. Our military's too big. We're the world reserve currency. He doesn't have the imagination to think like, what if they all make an alliance behind our back and say, we're cutting you out? What then? And it's like, that can happen. He's just too stupid to fucking think of it.
But
you know?
do you think... secretly there's some. I mean, I feel like all leaders have some type of like egotistical, like want to stay in charge thing. Like, you don't think they like him?
He does, but that's what's making him make all these crazy decisions.
No, but other leaders, I'm saying, like, you don't think they secretly like the way he rules and are like, oh, I wish I can do that. And
Bro, he's ruining their economies.
yeah, I guess so.
Like when last night during the futures trading numbers came out, and it was like the Taiwan stock market down 12%, this other one down 10%, like. And so you're destroying these other countries too. They make a lot of goods that are exported to the United States for us to consume. And now he's saying, we're going to make that way more expensive. You're not going to be able to sell as much stuff. You're not going to be able to export as much stuff. Your economy is going to suffer. The people in your countries are going to suffer. And so these other world leaders are dealing with the fallout of a fucking trade war, knowing that that threatens their power too. And so they have to do whatever they can to try to protect their own countries, which is why all these countries are like, you're tariffing us? Okay, we're going to tariff you back. Right? And so he's made it so that, like, South Korea, China, and Japan, which are three countries that hate each other, all got together and were like, we're doing reciprocal tariffs. If you tariff one of us, we're all going to tariff you back.
And they make more of the shit than we make.
Right. And the EU was saying, maybe we'll ban all American goods into the European market. Like, these are the conversations that are happening now. And you think, like, Canada is making closer deals with the EU. Mexico is making closer deals with the EU and probably going to make closer deals with China too. Like, we're just handing the next century over to China, saying, you guys lead the world because we're too fucking crazy and stupid and chaotic to do it. And so that's what's going to happen, man. I mean, he's doing everything he can to bring that about, and I don't think people have really fully grasped just how bad it can get.
Damn. I mean, and so how has what's it, JFK Jr.? Has he done anything crazy yet, or is he kind of just RFK? JFK Jr. is dead?
I don't even know if there is a JFK Jr. anymore.
Oh,
is there a JFK Jr. anymore? I don't know.
How's RFK Jr. been? Has he been kind of at bay?
Nah, he's doing fucked up shit. He's done some fucked up shit. There was a bunch of stuff that came out the other day. He had promoted, like, vitamin A to treat measles. And then all these kids were showing up to the ER, not only with measles, but with vitamin A poisoning.
Oh, my goodness.
So, like, that was fucking stupid. They rolled back some regulations on some chemicals that they shouldn't have done it. They fired a bunch of people at HHS, including people who do, like, super important research, like Parkinson's research and stuff like that. So, no, they're all bad. Corin, they're all bad. I haven't seen, at least in the first term, there was, like, a couple things you could point to be like, that wasn't so bad. Like when Trump pardoned Alice Johnson, that woman who was, like, caught up in a drug deal, but she's this, like, sweet grandmotherly lady, and she got life in prison. And Kim Kardashian went to Trump and begged him, like, hey, could you pardon this person?
How do you get caught up in that?
I mean, she sold, like...
Oh, she was actually doing some stuff.
Yeah, but it was like her boyfriend told her to do the shit, and she did it. There's some whole fucking backstory to it.
Okay.
But whatever, she's a sweet grandmother lady who had no other criminal shit on her record, and she got, like, life in prison. And so Trump pardoned her. He did the First Step Act to be, like, a little more lenient with first-time offenders. You know,
so it's not like he's done anything where, because in the past I give you credit, and I think other people give you credit, where you're like, the reason they respect you is because when he did something good, you'd be like, that's good.
But
he hasn't done anything where you're like, okay, that.
Yeah, that was last time.
Yeah, his first term.
Everything's a nightmare. Everything is a nightmare. I've never seen anything like it, where every day you wake up to new horrors that you couldn't have possibly imagined. Every day. And it's like, at this point, like, I've totally run out of sympathy for the Trump people. I totally have run out of sympathy. Because it's like, if you don't see it by now, you're never going to fucking see it.
Yeah.
You're never going to see it. You're never going to see it. If there was nothing that made you draw the line thus far, like, what the fuck can happen? He's threatening to steal Greenland. And they're like, we don't want you. It's like, they did a poll. It's like 6% of the country wants to be part of America. And he's like, we have to have it. We're going to take it. Really? You heard that and you didn't draw a fucking line? That didn't make you go, you know what? It didn't make you go, whoa, when he decided to sign an executive order on day one, which repealed a Biden order that lowered drug prices. That didn't make you go, hey, I kind of prefer lower drug prices, sort of fuck you for that. Like, and it drives me crazy because it's all a strategy, too, the way they do it. They flood the zone. So they'll do like 100 bad things a day, and the media will only be able to cover like 2 of them.
Yeah.
Right? And it drives me crazy because as somebody who does this, No, I try to put all 100 things in my fucking show.
Yeah, that's
right. And like, it just drives me crazy that the people can't. They're moving so fast and breaking so much shit that it just skates by most people, and it's horrible. Everything's horrible.
All right. So with that being said, last time we spoke, we did the this or that, and like I said, people like to kind of see a different side of you, a little bit more outside of politics, maybe some politics still thrown in there, but other kind of things you're interested in. So I wanted to ask you a couple. I've got a list of some things here that
7 inches.
that we can.
Never mind.
What was it?
I said 7 inches.
Oh, that's impressive. Okay, so let's get into a couple of them. The first one I wanted to ask you is, what is one of the weirdest internet trends right now that you've seen? Is there anything that's going around that has caught your eye, or that you've gotten on board with, that you've tweeted out some things that are happening currently?
Weirdest internet trends that I've seen. Huh. I don't know. I mean, I think what I thought was super weird was when Trump would go on all the bro podcasts, when he went on like Theo Vaughn and Andrew Schultz and Rogan show.
Yep.
Like, I thought that was just really weird because they really don't know shit about politics or policy, and they like humanized him. And so that was a weird trend. But in terms of like, you know, like the ice bucket challenge from back in the day, I don't that shit doesn't come across my feed. My feed is just like memes, news.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like, what's one of your most favorite memes right now? And I think I mean, like, obviously the JD Vance is a popular one right now.
Yeah, the funny JD Vances are great.
Funny JD Vance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of AI stuff. Like, when you go to AI, what's the first thing you're typing in?
I got one for you. So I tweeted it the other day. There was an AI music video somebody made.
Yeah.
Where it was a drill rap song, and it had like all these different world leaders in the music video, and that shit was crazy. I posted it because my mind was blown about how amazing it was. You had all these different world leaders and a dope drill rap beat with a dude rapping. It wasn't like a world leader rapping. It was like some random dude rapping. But I was like, damn, this shit is actually kind of good, and the video was wild and crazy.
And is it actually them, or is their face like distorted? Like, it's actually like...
No, it's them. It's them. It's like, it's pretty advanced AI. AI has like really improved over not that long of a time frame. Remember when that Will Smith eating spaghetti video came out and it was really bizarre?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so this was the first AI video anybody posted, and it was like, look, our AI was able to create Will Smith eating spaghetti. And it was like something straight out of a nightmare, where like his face was all mangled and it was like changing by the second, and he was like shoving the spaghetti in his mouth.
Uh-huh.
Well, now it's gotten to the point where a Will Smith eating spaghetti video looks a lot like Will Smith eating spaghetti.
Yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, these music videos were like on point.
Yeah, that was one that I had. I didn't have it written down, but like, what are you more in favor of? Like an AI created content, or are you still for old school like creativity, where like some content creator comes up with a cool design or video or something like that?
So definitely more in favor of real content.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to a lot of YouTube channels, and maybe, I want to say maybe out of all the channels I'm subscribed to, maybe like 2 of them are AI channels.
Wait, so the whole channel is AI?
Yes. Yes.
Damn, that's actually not a bad idea for Corin's World. It's just like, yo, create me a 8-minute video. And I'm just kidding.
That shit won't work.
I know.
So, like, I watch it on, I like Game of Thrones. And one of the Game of Thrones channels I follow is definitely AI created. What's that?
I didn't know you were into Game of Thrones, I don't think.
Oh, yeah. I love it. Me and Crystal watched it not that long ago, and I just love it. But, and, like, I could tell the video's AI. It's like a whole AI shit. And, yeah, it feels sterile. It feels like there's no human touch to it.
Yep.
And it will get to a point eventually where it's like, this feels real. But to this point, I've always been able to sniff out, oh, I think that's AI. There's even like some basketball channel I watched where I was like, they're trying to hide it, but this shit is AI. And so,
wait, what would they do for basketball channel AI?
So, you know, all the basketball channels, they're like stat nerds.
Yeah.
And they'll go into specifics, and, you know, it'll be some why Draymond Green is washed up or whatever, and then you watch the video and they make their argument and shit.
Yeah.
And there was one of those channels that was making some argument. I don't know who they were talking about. I don't remember. But, like, I was like, they're close, but it's AI.
Wow.
You know?
So it's like a human saying stats on the player, but it's like AI?
It sounds like a human, but it also sounds a little too robotic to be a human.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not as bad as, like, your GPS when it says, like, make a left. Or it's not as bad as that.
Yeah, that's
but
one that,
still,
like, I'm surprised they haven't updated, like, to make your GPS sound more like your wife or someone just sitting in the passenger seat. Like, hey, honey, just make a right turn right here.
Somebody probably did by now. Like, somebody probably made it so it sounds more realistic. I'm sure there's some company out there that did that.
I guess.
But yeah, it's still like there's still something a little bit off about it where you're like, this isn't right. The only thing I will cop to using AI for from time to time is so we have Lilith do all of our thumbs for the show, right?
The thumbnails?
The thumbnails for the YouTube videos from the show.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes there's content that releases on the weekend.
Yeah, Kyle Corin, someone was like, you had a barbecue chicken in your hand, and they were like, whoever made that was like a genius or something like that.
Well, okay, so that was AI, obviously.
That was dope, though.
Yeah, so that's the thing is, like, when I don't have Lilith, my thumbnail person, making my thumbnail, and I got to get a thumbnail out there real quick, I will personally go to AI and type in a scenario and try to get one that works and then use it.
So anyone who watches Kyle's channel, if there's some official shit, it's Lilith. But if it's Kyle with some barbecue chicken and a buttery ass suit, that's Kyle's idea.
Right. So I do use, that's the only thing I use AI for every now and then. So the other thing AI is good for, I don't know if you've messed around with it, but like if you have a question that you need answered, right? Like let's say I'm prepping for my show and I read 4 different articles and the different articles told me all of Trump's day 1 executive orders, right? But like I wasn't taking notes when I was reading it and I was half asleep. And the next day I'm like, fuck, I need that list again. I could go to AI and say, please give me the list of all of Donald Trump's day 1 executive orders. Please make it short and in bullet point form. And then boom, 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 boom. It'll all be there.
They bless instantaneously. I don't know how the fuck they do it. But like Molly and I were hanging a picture in our living room the other day. And she had the measuring stick out. And we went down the whole wall. And it was like 86 inches or something like that. And we just couldn't figure out like where to put the 2 like nails or whatever to actually hang the picture. Like we knew where the middle of the wall was, but we didn't know like where for each of the things. So she just like typed in like where do we put each side of the nail or so, and like it like divided it and it was like measure 24 feet or inches, and it just right then like we were both stumped. And she usually is good with knowing where everything goes and measuring, but just typed in like where on my wall's 86, but I need to know where the 2 things are. Boom, had it. We had the picture up, and it was like amazing.
Yeah, so that's true, and the thing people fear is that when it gets better exponentially, and so I think what they fear is, I forget what it's called. Crystal knows what it's called, like artificial general intelligence or something like that, which is the next step above artificial intelligence, which means not only can it like answer all these questions, but it can like go off on its own thought process and figure things out we didn't even ask it.
Yeah,
right?
That's wild.
And yeah, so that's where people sort of start to say like, because the other thing is we really don't know the long-term consequences of making this technology. You know,
well, it's going to stop people from using their fucking brains because like.
But and it's like with social media, right? Like when we made social media, everybody thought like, oh, this is going to democratize information and it'll be the public square and everybody will come closer together. And here we are over a decade later. And you could argue social media very directly led to the rise of like fascist movements with Trump in the U.S. and others overseas. And it's like it actually made us more bitter, more angry, made us argue more, made us hate each other more, made us more partisan. And so people never like they always sell you the best possible version when they're making the shit, but then the reality of it happens much later on.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing with this artificial intelligence is like, what else is it going to be able to do, and how is that going to affect society? And are people going to lose jobs? Is the AI going to be smart enough to fucking take over, whatever the fuck? Like, there's all these questions we don't know the fucking answer to, and we just keep moving forward, right? We just keep like, yeah, no. Like, we've said this before, too. Like, there was probably a year where we could have just cut off any more development on cell phones and been like, you know, we're good here, right? Like, if they cut it off by, like, the 3rd iPhone, and we're like, no more after this, we're capping it, this shit is good, society might be in a better place if we did that shit, right?
Yeah.
Or if we cut it off at the BlackBerry back in the day. Like, But no, they always have to, make it better, make it better, make it better, make it better. And in the process of making it better, sometimes there are downsides for society that people don't realize, and like everything becomes worse.
Yeah.
And so that's the scary thing about living in this moment is like we're on the cutting edge of brand new technology, which could impact the world in ways we'll never fucking fully understand.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, you even think about like libraries. I mean, like I go to libraries because like they offer classes and all these activities for my kids. But like you used to have to go to a library and actually pick out a book and like read about some shit. Like now it's just your phone. Like libraries have probably become obsolete because who's gonna go there and do any research when you can buy a book online? You can get the answer to whatever you're looking for online or on your phone. That shit is scary.
Yeah, and libraries are one of those things where
like you need libraries.
I can see Doge trying to cut as many of those as they can.
That's
like
one too. Yeah,
I'm surprised that they're government funded. What's that?
I'm surprised that hasn't been a thing yet to like start cutting librarians and libraries.
Well, this is a good question for AI. I feel like I probably should know the answer to this, but I think is it like locally funded or state funded? Who funds public libraries?
Yeah, I feel like that would be the state,
local, or federal government. Let's see. I just asked AI. Public libraries in the U.S. are primarily funded by a combination of local, state, and federal government sources, with the majority funding typically coming from local governments. Okay. So the bulk of public library funding, often 80 to 90%, comes from local sources. State government funding varies widely, but it can be anywhere from 5 to 15%. Federal funding is the smallest contributor, usually provided through programs like the Library Services Technology Act, administered by the Institute of Museum, blah, blah, blah. This funding supports specific projects, technology updates, or underserved communities, but it's not a primary operational resource. So I could see, like, Elon Musk and Doge trying to, like,
cut it a little
get
bit.
rid of all federal funding for libraries, but it's still mostly local.
That's good.
Yeah, hopefully they'll continue because of that. That's the thing, right? Like, this is the whole point of government, is to do some shit that wouldn't just happen in the market, right? And, like, the market would never, I'm going to fund a library, because why would somebody in the market do that? You're going to have to pay rent. You're probably going to not have people come through on a regular basis. Remember, libraries are supposed to be free, right? So, like, you can't make it in the market, but they did that. The government did that, and it was a good effect on society. Libraries have had a good effect on society, you know?
So just quickly back about your memes real quick, because this made me think. When you go, and I don't know if you're typing in the meme you want, sometimes like you'll have a lot on Elon Musk or something like that. But Davina, my sister, said she tried to make an image of Musk and Trump and said to make them look stupid for doing this. And it wrote back to her, "We try to be respectful on here and don't use derogatory terms." So have you ever gotten pushback from trying to create a Elon Musk meme or something like that?
No. So thankfully I haven't. I don't know would you know which AI she was using when that happened?
Just ChatGPT.
Okay. So ChatGPT, I guess, is more restrictive than Grok. Because I use Grok, and it still lets me make Elon Musk in the worst possible fucking...
And you would think that, if anything, would be one that puts a block on him.
Exactly. So, yeah, so it's been good for me. What I will say is, there was one time I was actually really... So every now and then, AI will just swing and miss, dog.
Oh, really?
Like, every now and then, they'll just be wrong on some shit.
Well, luckily it wasn't wrong when I was hanging that picture, because that shit would have been all the way to the left.
Yeah, so thankfully they get it right a lot. But, like, there was this song that I liked, but it was like a stupid song on like a SoundCloud rapper shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't remember the name of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I came close, I typed it in, but I couldn't find it. I remembered more about it. I typed it in, I couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, I know, I'll go to AI to try to figure out what this song is. And so I go to AI and I explain everything I know about it. And by the time I was at AI and typing it out, I had a lot of the shit I remember. I remembered the name of the rapper is One Pac. It's supposed to be like a play on Tupac, One Pac.
Yeah.
It was like One Pac the Don or something like that. And then I remembered some of the lyrics, and I said, the lyrics are, and I put some lyrics.
Sometimes when you get one word, you could, like, you just need one word, and you got the rest.
Which is why I was so annoyed I couldn't find the shit.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, I remember the album cover was like a dude in a white suit, but he was like a skeleton, and it was like a metal skeleton face, sort of like the Terminator. I remembered all that shit.
And it hit you with it.
It could not give me the answer. But then I went into my own phone and scrolled back. Like, I got like 100 tabs up. I scrolled back, and one of the first tabs was that song. and I was like, yo, I got the name right, I got the album right,
And it
I got
couldn't
the
find it?
lyrics right, and it still couldn't get me that shit, dog.
Damn.
And I was like, sort of fuck AI. And sometimes they'll hit you with some shit where you're like, that's not right, and you'll look
Yeah.
it up and it'll be wrong.
Wow. Yeah, I luckily I haven't come across that, but I have seen, and I haven't used this yet, but I think, because I used to type into Google when there was a song that I would like, and I didn't know any of the words, and I knew the beat, and you do that like ba 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 ba, and you hope that like, because in your head you're like, that's the beat right there, but then like other people will type it like na 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 na, and now I think there's a new technology where you can like you could hum the beat or something into
Wow.
the phone, and it'll try
Wow.
and find it. And I
Wow.
haven't used it. I think I saw that. I think I'm correct on like that being a thing, but props to whoever invented that. And if you can actually get the song based off of someone's like boom, 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 that's a good invention.
Bro, so let me tell you, and your story sparked this thought in me, that there's still one song that to this day,
You can't get?
I never was able to find it. So I was driving back from college, right?
Damn, it's still
Now-
stuck with you since college. That's so
Bro. And I was listening to, it was either Hot 97 or Power 105, which are the hip hop stations. And I don't know who the rapper was. I don't know what the song was. The beat was fire. And then I remember listening to the lyrics and trying to like remember some of them so that I could search it. And the only one that still sticks with me to this day is the line, I like girls that like girls like Ellen.
And that's
I remember
not enough to find it?
that was not enough to find it. And back in the day, I even had more than that, and I couldn't find it. And my best guess is that it was from some mixtape
Could have been.
that nobody ever wrote the lyrics down online for the song.
Yeah.
And so I still, to this day, have never been able to fucking find it. And to this day, it drives me crazy because that song was flames. And it would be one of those songs that, you know me, I'll listen to a song 100 times if I like it.
Yep.
I would have listened to that shit 300 times. And I still, to this day, I still have one lyric and I can't fucking find it.
There's got to be someone on a Reddit thread or a SoundCloud that was listening that same time as you that, you know, you can't be the only person that was listening that day that heard that lyric and was like, that was a bar.
How do I hear a song once on the radio and never hear it again? Tell me how the fuck that works. Because in my life, 98% of the time, if they're playing a song, I'm gonna hear that shit
Yeah.
at least 5 more times in my life, probably more like 80 more times in my life.
Yeah.
You know?
So, yeah. Sometimes the radio station will have like that 6 o'clock hour where they're just like freestyling new bangers. They got like reggae bangers. They got shit from like Jamaica, like Honduras, like random shit that you're like, oh, this is fucking banger. And then like, you're like, how come I never heard this song? And you never hear it again.
Never.
Because it was just like a one-hit wonder or something that like some DJ was on that island listening to that song and he put it into his mix and then it's just gone.
Bro, I guarantee you the dude who was rapping in the song that I loved is now like a UPS driver or something, just a regular ass dude.
It could have just been
You know?
a freestyle too. Like maybe it was a freestyle.
From my memory, I really don't think it was a freestyle because there was
Oh.
like some production quality to it. It didn't sound like he was live rapping over
Maybe.
the shit. And I don't remember him being in studio. But I remember listening to it like, oh, this is such a good song and I can't fucking find it.
Well, I'm going to try and find that app where you can kind of either, I think it was just humming into it. But
See,
if
I
you can
don't
put
remember the
lyrics
beat.
into it.
I just remember I like girls that like girls like Ellen. And then I'm telling you, because some people comment, like, I looked it up, it's this song. No, whatever song you think it is, I've already been down that rabbit hole. I've read the lyrics, played the song. It wasn't the song. It wasn't the song. It doesn't exist. Like, it's gone.
It's also
like a mixtape.
Yeah.
Probably. I want to say the year I was listening was maybe 2011, maybe 2012.
It
No,
also-
wait, that can't be right. Wait, no, that can't be right. It had to be 2009,
Yeah,
like
because if you
8 or
dropped
9.
back from college, yeah, that was
Probably,
8
so
or
it
9.
was 8 or 9, probably.
Yep.
Yeah. And
And,
so it was.
It makes
gone,
it
bro.
a lot tougher that Ellen is a lesbian that likes girls that likes girls that likes girls. So anything you Google search is just going to be articles on Ellen DeGeneres.
Not only that, that same lyric was used in other rap songs.
Oh,
It's
really?
like it was like a commonly used, like, you know how they always reference Donald Trump back in the day in rap songs?
Yeah, that was the prime Ellen years.
Saying I like girls that like girls like Ellen, like that line mixes with a bunch of other shit that you
Yeah.
could, rhyme with.
Yeah.
And so a bunch of people used it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I like girls. One, you're behind the 8 ball trying to find a lyric with that. Ellen in 2008, 2009, if you're searching that, it's over. She was like the #1 TV show. And those are like your two main search like shit. So it could be a wrap on that.
No, I've already given up, and it really drives me crazy because most of the time I've wanted to learn about a song, I've been able to figure it out.
Yeah.
Been able to piece it together. There's an app called Shazam, which I'm sure
Yeah,
you've heard
Shazam.
of. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in a bar and you hear a song that you like and you never heard it before, you
Boom.
could just
Hits
press
you
the
with it.
button, boom, you get it. But this one is just gone, bro. And
It's
it's
gonna
a
be on
shame.
your tombstone. Like, could never find. I like girls. I like girls like Ellen.
Exactly.
Okay, that was my first question. I think I am gonna chop this up. So the first half will be like Kyle and Corin, and the second half will be more this or that with you. Okay, next one. Do you have any hidden talent or skills? Obviously, everybody knows you're a very good golfer. If you don't know that, Kyle's very good at golf. He was on the high school golf team and plays in a lot of like kind of just recreational tournaments and stuff like that. He's not like Donald Trump, where if he says he wins a tournament, it's handed to him. He is a beast on the golf course, and he's one of the most passionate and most kind of one of the best golfers I know. You know, he's before when we were at Joe Rogan, he was like got Jamie involved with golf. Crystal now plays golf, so he's all in on golf and very good. But are there any other talents or skills that people don't know that you have?
I would say poker.
Poker's a good one. You are very good at poker. Yeah.
In fact, I would say I'm better at poker than I am at golf.
I mean, you're good at both of them. You are good at poker too. We've been to tournaments where I'll get knocked out like the first 5 minutes because I just kind of like the game. I was better at cash games a little bit, but you'll always make it to either like if there's a day two or the final table or some shit where you start to money. Because what do you think it is with poker that makes you good? You're very patient, but you also have a good way to like read people as well.
I'm good with percentages.
Yeah.
So like I'm good with having a good sense of where I'm at in the hand, if my hand is good or not. And then also I read up on like some poker theory when I started, and I feel like I was taught the fundamentals in a good way. And so I just sort of always stuck to those fundamentals.
Yep.
And I mean I've actually won big poker tournaments. There was I don't know how old I was turning, 23, 24 or something, and I went to play a poker tournament at like Mohegan Sun or what's the other one over there?
Yeah.
What is it? Mohegan Sun, and what's the other one? I forget. Foxwoods. Okay.
Yep.
It was one of those two. I went there and I played. It was like a $500 entry tournament, and I won the shit.
That's crazy.
We got down to like 8 people, and we just all cashed out.
I remember when that happened. Yeah.
And that was the first tournament I'd played in like years. And I was like, I'll go play poker, and I won. And then I've also won. I win a lot at home games. Remember when we went to that guy's house? Were you with me for this?
I don't think
Andrew,
went to. No, I didn't.
You didn't go to
No, I didn't go to that one.
Okay, so Andrew was this guy who was the lifeguard at a pool that I went to growing up, and he invited us. He was older,
Yep.
and he invited me and some of my friends to his like home poker game, and there were like 20 people there.
And you took it down.
So I show up. I'm like one of the youngest people there. I show up, win the first tournament. That's 20 people, right? Then they're like, let's run it back. Let's do another tournament. And we were like, okay. I won the second shit too. And so
Did people think you were cheating or something like that, or like
I think by the end of it, I think they did think I was by the end of it because I felt like they were being very cold to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, I don't know what to tell you. Like I just won this shit. But so yeah, I would say I'm better at poker than golf. Golf, I'm good, but right now I'm going through I got a little bit of the chipping yips, bro. Like I got a little bit of the chipping yips.
Yeah, but
like,
you can work out of it. Like
I will, but you could ask Crystal. Last time we were on the course and I was hitting chips and pitch shots, I went through a phase where it was just like I was just yipping them. I was just like
bad, or like it just wasn't like you.
No, it was bad.
Oh,
do you know what the yips are? Do you know what the yips are?
Yeah.
The yips are like when you're hitting a chip shot or a pitch shot, like you just can't hit it remotely good. Like you shank it, you fat it, you thin it. And so right now I have the chipping yips, but my long game is actually really good right now. Like I hit the ball like on the scratch, but my short game is like 18 handicap right now.
How's your putting?
So my putting's pretty good right now. My putting's good.
Yeah, don't they say like your driving and your putting is kind of all you need, or is chipping
no,
important
because
too?
if I play a really good round of golf, I'm going to hit like 12 greens out of 18 in regulation if I'm hitting the ball well, which means I'm still missing 6 greens, And on those 6 holes, I'm just dumping strokes by shanking it, thinning it, fatting it. So I'm a good golfer. I'm a better poker player. But when I play my best golf, I'm like a 2 handicap. My best round ever is like 68 was my best round ever. And I've shot a bunch of even pars, a couple 74s. But most of the time, I'm mid to high 70s or low to mid 80s. If I play really bad, I'll shoot like 85 or something like that. But I think I'm a better poker player. But yeah, outside of those 2 things, is there anything else that I have that's hidden talents?
You kind of could freak a Chris Brown like dance routine.
I taught myself how to do the Usher glide when we were teenagers. I learned how to do the Usher glide. I watched like a literal like tutorial video on how to do the glide, and I was able to figure that out. Other than that, I can't really dance, but I learned how to do the glide. So that's
juggle
cool.
or anything?
I can juggle. I can do three things. I can't do any more than 3.
That's good.
Yeah, that's another one I taught myself how to
round,
do.
Like they couldn't give you 3 bowling pins and you like freaked out. Is it the same?
No. It has to
different.
be 3 balls that are like a reasonable size.
Yeah.
I could do. The other thing is, and you can attest to this, is when we would play pickup basketball in high school, I decided one time I can't go left. I need to learn how to use my left.
I remember this.
And then I spent the summer and whenever we were in my basement, just bouncing the ball with my left hand, left hand.
The whole summer.
And I got to the point where I could. Like I can't like dribble all the time with my left hand, but if I want to cross over to the left and then do 3 or 4 dribbles on that side,
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Yeah, so I did that. Outside of that, man, I don't know. I'm lazy. I'm lazy as fuck. I know that's not like
that's a talent.
It's a talent. Like, if it's my show, I'm really on top of it. But outside of that, I can be lazy. I don't like doing anything. I don't like going anywhere. Hate airplanes. I don't know why I'm now telling you negative things about me. You asked me about positive things about me. There's no other real hidden talents. I don't think, at least. I can't think of any other, like, hidden talents.
I'm going to jump down a little bit. So, because of the laziness, do you have a go-to or made-up excuse to get out of something?
No, I just won't respond. I just won't respond.
Well, to be honest, too. Like, one thing I appreciate, too, with you is just straight honesty. And, like, you've always been that way. Like, and that's one thing I appreciate is just, like, you're not going to sugarcoat shit. If you don't want to do some shit, if you have something to do, you'll just be like, boom. And it just, I think you've always said this, and I think, like, crisis management, too, with a lot of athletes or politicians, it's like, just be honest. Because if you're not, they're going to keep digging and finding shit where you're like, all right, yeah, you're right, blah, blah, blah. Like, and that's why you're always good with, like, yo, can't make it, or doing this, and there's no digging on it.
It's funny you said that, because that's the thing about me that Crystal says she likes the most, is that I'm brutally honest.
Yeah.
But it honestly, though, it requires a certain kind of person to like that. Like, there's some people who will just not vibe with me because I'm too honest.
Yeah.
They don't like it. People think they like it. In theory, people like it.
Yeah.
But it's a certain kind of person that likes it. There's a lot of people who really don't like it.
Yeah.
But you like it, and Crystal likes it, so that's why you guys vibe with me.
No, that's a good-ass trait. I mean, you're right. People are always just like, shoot it straight. Be honest with me. How's my dress look? And they'll be like, it looks great. And then they'll fucking go out, and people, like, they look like an idiot. But you'll be like, nah, that shit is that shit is whack. Like, so that's a good one. What's on your playlist right now? What are you listening to? Obviously, I know what type of music you like, but like, do you have any go-to songs?
Let's go to it. All right. So first of all, what I'll say is I don't really make playlists.
Yeah, same.
What I will do is just go to my library and just click a song and just let it rock.
Yep.
So I'll give people a little bit of I'll give people a little run through. I just went right to my my shit right now.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on, let me put it in. I'll put it in alphabetical order, right? Is that better? I guess put it in alphabetical order. So I have it right now on date added. I'm gonna go to. Oh,
that's good.
They have like title. All right, date added, whatever. Okay, ready? Crush from David Archuleta is the first song. Redbone by Childish Gambino is the second song. No Love, August Alsina is the third song.
Oh.
Then I got Most Girls, that Pink song. Breathin' by Ariana Grande.
I know that one.
How Do You Want It by Tupac.
Gangsta.
Love Song by Sarah Bareilles.
That's
Ride by
one.
Sierra. Heartbreak Hotel by Whitney Houston. Just a Dream by Nelly. Then I got some 80s bangers. The Finer Things by Steve Winwood. Tweaker by Jello and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Hold You by Egyptian. Turn Me On, Kevin Little. For the Night by Pop Smoke, Stranger in My House by Tamia, Breathe, Michelle Branch, Break Free, Ariana Grande, Main Chick by Kid Ink and Chris Brown, Ain't It Fun by Paramore, Rude Boy Rihanna, You Found Me by The Fray, blah, blah, blah. It goes on, but I probably got 1,000 songs in here. And
No, that's a good
all
that's a good mix of kind of just a wide range of bangers.
If I had to rank, you probably know this, but if I had to rank everything, I'm gonna go number one R&B, which is kind of ironic because I don't think I even said any R&B songs in there, right?
R&B's like, I know you're an R&B.
Yeah,
that's
it's my number one shit. Yeah. So R&B would be number one, and then number two would be a tie between hip hop and pop, right? And then three would be like the random shit that I happen to like, whether it's like a 1980s song or like a
old shit,
an alternative rock song or whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's the list. Very few country songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you? Because low key, I feel like I'm not bitten by the country bug, but there's some country songs that like I'm like this is a good song because
No,
it's been
true.
like yeah.
Because they've gotten more poppy lately.
Yeah.
Like they've decided, you know what? Let's cave a little bit on the pop side and make it a little more poppy. And so there are some good country songs. But just as in general as a genre, I can't say I have that many country songs in my phone.
Yeah, I feel like that's one that just whether it's society or where we live, like regionally, is like country music equal bad. Where it's not that bad, but it's just every day I've been told like, no, you can't like country music. Don't like country music.
It's all about where you grow up, right? And we were raised in the environment that was R&B, rap, pop.
Yep.
And so those are the things we heard it all the time. Any song you listen to from when you're like a kid, that's going to become your music.
Yeah.
You know? And so some people, it'll be some banging Spanish music.
Yeah.
Some people, the whole middle of the country would say country music.
Yeah.
You know? So
it's kind of like NASCAR too.
That.
Like anyone from the South will swear by NASCAR.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. Obviously, if I go live, it'll probably be like a really enjoyable thing because I think they do a good job of like doing other things around just the racetrack that make it enjoyable. I think the atmosphere is good. They have a lot of drinking and you're kind of just like wilding out. But NASCAR to me is one that I'm like, you can't sell me on that. Like, don't try to sway me that cars just driving around in a circle is some shit that's dope when I could watch, you know, Allen Iverson cross somebody up, drive to the rack, and then like hit a reverse layup. It's just night and day to me. But a NASCAR guy could swear by that shit.
Yeah, again, it's just like what you were raised in and stuff.
Exactly.
I remember we did one year in our business law class in high school, we had to bet on which horse we thought would win the Kentucky Derby.
Yeah.
And they taught us how to like read the stats on the horses.
Oh.
And then so I ended up picking a horse called Barbaro, and that horse ended up winning.
I think I remember Barbaro. Yeah.
And so
or maybe
I
there's
remember
a shaving cream called Barbaro or some shit.
Barbasol. Barbasol is the shaving cream. I used to use it. But anyway, I remember thinking, like, I could actually get into this horse racing shit if I kept doing this, because it was kind of cool to go through the stats and pick who you think is going to win. And, like, you could see how somebody could not only love it, but get addicted to gambling on it, too.
Yeah. Okay. How are you on time? You good for a couple more?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. What's one work habit or hack that you swear by?
Jesus, one work habit or hack that I swear by. Get somebody to do your editing if you do YouTube.
Shout out Lilith. She's a real one since day one.
Lilith does thumbnails. Peter does the editing.
Oh, shout out Peter. I don't think I know Peter.
Yeah, I don't think you've met Peter, but he's top notch.
The one that you've always told me is just consistency, and I think you do a good job of consistency too. Is like you're always on it, you know, like because you care about this stuff and you're passionate about it, so you're always constantly talking about the topics that you like to talk about. And that's one that I think from my eyes is a habit that I've seen from you is just the consistency dating back to God knows, like 13 years ago, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, with you and your show is just the consistency. So that's a habit that I think you do a good job with.
And the other thing I'd say is bullet points. For me, and for what I do, it's bullet points.
Yeah.
Is that I don't want long shit in front of me, but I also don't want nothing in front of me.
Yeah.
So having bullet points is important to me because it's like just little bite size.
Yep,
Here's
I
the
like that.
important shit. Yeah.
Who has been the biggest influence in your career? And if
That's
it's
a good
changed,
question.
if Crystal's someone that influences you, maybe that could be an answer. But is there anyone that you've looked up to kind of doing the politics?
There's a lot to answer that with. So, Bill Maher is one.
Mm-hmm.
Back when I was younger,
Yep.
I was very impressionable in the sense that I liked his confidence, and I got more interested in politics when I heard him talk. So he would be one. Bill O'Reilly, I would have said the same thing because he was the number one in cable news when I was a kid, and I would turn it on from time to time, and I would be amazed at the presentation and how he managed to present it, not what he was saying, because I never really agreed with him on anything. Cenk from the Young Turks, he was a huge influence. There was a time when TYT was the only game in town for any sort of left of center talk,
Facts.
and he sort of was the grandfather of the format and how to do like left wing political commentary on YouTube. So I would say him. I would say people like Noam Chomsky, read his books and had my mind blown.
He's
I would
still
say
alive?
like Richard Dawkins for his atheist books, The God Delusion and shit like that. What'd you ask?
Norm Chomsky's still alive, right? Because he was
He's
like,
still alive.
oh, wow.
I think he had some medical incident
Oh,
like
okay.
a year ago, but I think he's still alive. I haven't heard that he passed away. So, I'm trying to think what else. Who else? We got Bill Maher, Bill O'Reilly. Oh, Tom Hartman. Tom Hartman is the OG GOAT. He even goes back before Cenk Uygur days. He was the host on Air America Radio, the left-wing talk radio that I listened to back during the Bush administration.
Yeah.
And Tom Hartman is still doing his thing, bro. He's still doing his thing. He's still got a radio show. He's got a YouTube channel.
wow.
You know, his YouTube numbers are pretty solid. He's just the OG, been doing this shit forever, 5 days a week.
Yeah.
He's got the 3-hour radio show per day. And he's one of the guys who, he stands the test of time the best. Of pretty much everybody I just mentioned. He is still like the OG GOAT, still right about like almost everything. He's the man. So shout out Tom Hartman.
Enough inspiration. Like, would you ever want to meet him, or like you don't care that much? Like, you're just like, I like what he does. Because I feel like that's
it'd
a
be
dude
nice
you
to
could
meet him, but
Yeah,
I
like-
wouldn't go out of my way to
Okay.
do so. You know, like I wouldn't. Oh, I'll fly out here and do no.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not doing that. But if I happen to be at some event that he's at, I would love it.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
he's OG.
Yep. The weirdest thing you've ever eaten.
The weirdest thing I've ever eaten. I don't know. Well, first of all, let me just say, I'm of the mindset. I'm curious if you agree with this. I'm of the mindset most fish are gross.
Yeah, all fish. Fuck all fish. Like,
Yeah,
tuna
like-
fish is probably like the best fish of fish, but all other fish. Not
See,
saying
we
I
actually
eat tuna
it's funny.
fish.
No. We have a disagreement on this one because I never like tuna fish. There are fish that I will tolerate.
Uh huh.
Like I'll tolerate shrimp. If you give me some shrimp, I'll tolerate it.
Can't do that.
I know this sounds crazy to people, but I'm gonna say it. I'll tolerate lobster. You give me some lobster, I'll tolerate. Most people are like, "Oh my god, lobster is so good," right?
Yeah, no, not me.
I'll tolerate it.
Like people putting butter on lobster, I'm like, no.
But when we get to when we're talking about like salmon, when we're talking about like trout,
Yeah,
crab,
is tartar
like,
a thing? Right? Isn't that a?
that's steak. Steak
Oh.
tartare is like raw steak,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
But is there a fish that starts with T? Tilapia?
Yeah,
there's
tilapia and some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So most fish, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. But in terms of the wildest thing I've ever, I don't know the answer to that question. I'm not that adventurous.
Yeah.
Like with, you know what I'm saying? Like my shit is relatively.
You stay in your
It's
lane.
relatively like normal.
Yeah. I'm always fascinated when someone gets a bagel and then they put some whitefish on that shit. I think my mom does that. I'm like, why would you ruin a good bagel with some whitefish? Like, what the fuck even is that?
100%. You really got my mind going now though, because I'm trying to remember the craziest thing I ever ate. I remember my dad tried alligator one time when we were in Florida, but I didn't try that shit.
Yeah, nah, I would never try that. Okay. Food you can eat every day and not get tired of.
I mean, people are gonna make fun of me because it's like the palate of a child. But like,
Tarts.
if I eat chicken nuggets every day, I'm fine with that shit.
Chicken nuggets
If I
are good.
eat pizza every day, I'm fine with that shit. I feel like, or you know, like a bar, like a Nature Valley bar or a Nutri-Grain bar or whatever in the morning. I'm fine with that shit. I'm trying to think what else is there that every day. every day. I mean, it's really just a fruit. I'm fine with eating the apple or grapes or whatever every
Apple
day.
a
Like,
day.
that's fine too, you know?
Okay, couple more. The name of a restaurant if you opened one up.
Kyle's restaurant? That's what I would say.
That'd be a good one. Okay, and then the last one. Would you or do you, like, how long are you rocking with your underwear with some holes in them versus a
Where are
pair
the
of
holes?
sock? The whole, that's an interesting one because if my elastic is good, the underwear will go forever. The holes are like kind of in in like the ballsy area, so like you feel the wind a little bit breezing.
So, wait, you said the ball area?
Yeah, but the elastic is still good on the underwear.
Okay. I'm probably riding those underwear into the ground, bro.
Okay, yeah, I like
Actually,
that.
ball area, I might switch them out if it's ball area. If it's like an inconsequential rip on the side,
Yeah,
it's fine. But ball area, I'm probably gonna
that's why I said ball area because
throw them bitches out. And
Yep.
socks with holes in them, I usually just keep them for a while. Like I'll keep them for an uncomfortable amount of time until the hole is just too big to be ignored.
Yep. But you're a big loafers, no sock guy, right?
No. I wear Uggs.
Yeah, but
And
no
so
socks,
Ugg
right?
slippers, no, I have socks.
Oh, okay.
It's socks and Ugg slippers that look like just nothing shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's all I got. I'll come with some more next week, some more this or that. I think people enjoy it. They get to know you a little bit better. Anything I missed on there?
Anything you missed, this or that. Just the not safe for work ones, which I'm happy nobody asked.
That I'll put behind a paywall on Patreon.
Yeah, that one has to go behind a paywall. I don't want to volunteer information like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so Kyle and Corin, then a little this or that. Thank you for your time, Kyle. We appreciate it. I appreciate it. You're the man. You're awesome. Hopefully we can keep rocking out with these because it's dope.
Yeah.
And anything
And
you want to
I'm
add?
pushing it, bro. Yeah.
Do you ever like think because like I'll get like 200 views and Molly's like you got to think like that's like 200 people standing in a room. When your video like gets like 385,000 views, like do you ever think like that is bigger than any stadium, any whatever, like that's insane. Of you like just chilling talking about something because I mean like you know about it. Like that to me is insane.
It is crazy because back when we were kids, the society was still like all in one, and so everybody knew the famous people, right? Like you say Denzel Washington, Tom Cruise, Michael Jordan, whatever. Like these are the famous people, and everybody knows them. But we live in such a different time now. Fame has been like decentralized. You still have the A-listers.
Yeah.
Like the A-listers are the ones everybody fucking knows them, and it's still those big name movie stars and shit and sports stars like LeBron, whatever. But there's a whole different world online and in social media where some people are like the most famous person in the world to you, but in the grand scheme of things, they're like a D-list celebrity. You know what I'm saying? And it's just really weird because to some people, it's like, yeah, of course. I've known that person for a decade. I followed their shit. They get a lot of views. I feel like everybody knows who this person is.
Yeah.
They do not. They do not. That's you.
Yep.
That's you. And that's why it's really cool that you have like makeup YouTube and political YouTube and basketball YouTube. I just found out the other day one of the basketball YouTubers I watch is a massive lefty. And he has
really?
like a side channel where he'll post like some political content where he'll talk about politics. I'm like, yo, that's so cool. This dude is a massive lefty, and he's a basketball YouTuber. He just happened to be a lefty, and I happened to stumble across this shit. And so it's just really cool that you have these different pockets of different interests where, if your interest is in whatever, construction shit, there's some construction YouTuber who's got like 1 million subs and posts videos on the regular and is building shit or whatever.
Yep.
I think that's really cool. And so,
yeah.
to answer your question, no, it doesn't really hit me like that because I'm niche. I'm very niche with my shit. Like I'm a political lefty YouTuber guy. And so to people who like that, yeah, they'll know who I am and stuff, and that's cool. But to most people, they don't know who I am, and that's cool.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't think of it like 385,000 is crazy. But in the mind of somebody who's been on political YouTube for so long, I never think of myself as like those A-list celebrity or even a B-list celebrity. We're like, oh, everybody knows who I am. Like, no, they fucking don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't. And honestly, I think it's better that they don't. Like, to hit that level of fame has to suck. Because you really can't just do some shit in public where 95% of the time if I do some shit in public, nobody's going to fucking know who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
So,
that's a dope spot to be. I've always said that about like an NBA player who's like 6'2", just like a good looking ass dude that makes about like whatever, got a 3-year contract for something like nice with or like a baseball player that can go out in Colorado and still be like just a regular ass person and not be like obviously LeBron James or like some 7'4" player. You can just fit in with society. And to your point, like that's just like a good ass spot to be where like I'm sure it's nice. I mean, I've seen this for myself and I'm nobody. Like I've been out and like a person will spot me from Kyle and Corin. It's like, oh, that's what's up. Like I appreciate you saying what's up, but then let's just like you could just go on your merry way and no one else knows what's going on.
Yeah, and everybody's nice.
Yeah.
When you're at the level I'm at, like if anybody is bothering to say hi to you and they know you, it's because they're like, hey man, nice show.
Yeah.
And they just keep walking, you know?
Yeah. I still
And that's
remember we were
nice.
in LA leaving the Staples Center and there was a dude, I think like just like eating outside with his girlfriend or something like that. And we walked
Oh,
past.
yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
And he was
yeah.
just like, he was like a regular ass dude. And he was just like, Kyle. He's like, hey, man, like, oh, I'm a big fan. Like, you're like, what's up, dude? Like, it was, and he was mad cool about it, but just like a regular ass dude. It was pretty cool for me to see that. Like,
Yeah, and the only time that I really got the A-list experience was when we would go to Politicon
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
That was, because then that's like everybody's like,
100%.
everybody knows you.
Yep.
And that's so different from, like you said, when we were leaving the Laker game. We went to a Laker game, right? When we were there or no?
Yep.
Did
Yeah.
we?
It was either Lakers or Clippers. I think it was Lakers.
Okay, yeah. Well, anyway, that was like one
remember.
person out of them noticed.
Yeah.
You know?
Forgot who they played. I'm going to look back and see who they
Yeah,
played.
I don't remember, bro. Do we have any pictures from that shit?
We have pictures from outside. Maybe we just went to the Staples Center to like just see the outside of the shit.
Maybe we did.
I
Yeah,
think that was what we did.
Yeah, I don't think we went to a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I think
right.
we just
that's
went
right.
out and saw
'Cause
like
we
maybe
were-
the statues or something.
Wasn't our hotel right next to the
That's
Staples
what
Center?
I think it was. I think
Yeah.
we walked down, got food at a spot. Maybe there was a game going on. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that was it.
Shout out
My
LA.
mic is
Screw the
cutting out.
Dodgers for going to Trump shit and kind of like rubbing up with him.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck Otani too, with that dude going to jail for him. Like, fuck you, bro.
I saw a funny thing. It was like Otani thinks this is the CEO of DraftKings.
I saw that.
Oh, the internet's amazing. All right. I love it,
really
bro.
is.
Thanks for
All right.
doing this always, man.
Love you too, man. Yep, you got it.
All right, peace.